Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What's up, y'all? It's Jeff Cobb, and you're listening to Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show on Social Suplex Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Listener discretion is advised at all times.
Once again for downloading and listening to another episode of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show, part of the T-Bone Suplex Podcast Network. My name is Clive. I have been off for a couple of weeks. Ricky, my co-host, made his return last week, but this will be our first time recording together, and according to my Skype records, since the 1st of May, so I'm greeted to a hay fever stricken man. How are you feeling?
Very well, how are you?
Someone who doesn't suffer from hay fever.
It's horrible. I can't even wear my contacts because my eyes rub and itch that much. So I'm just walking into doors and walking in front of buses. But I made it tonight.
Good. So your hay fever.
It's been a while.
Aye, it's been 31. It's been 56 days since I last saw your face. That sounds like a song.
No, well, remember we saw each other on the train the other week.
Aye, but I just ignored you.
That's true.
To be fair, it was
a true story, folks.
It was a busy train.
Busy train. I had a seat spare next to me. Clive ignored me.
So Ricky's just referring to his wife as a spare seat now, guys. Just thought you'd like to know that.
There's a spare seat across from me, sorry.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, you didn't see it because you didn't come that far up the carriage?
I had no intentions of
But anyway, let's not fight. We've not been recording together for 6 weeks.
In that 6 weeks, you've had a lot of time for prayer and reflection. Some of it has been because of certain religious purposes, but some of it has just been. So, how is your fandom of life?
Of life or wrestling life?
Both.
Well, in life it couldn't be any better. I'm such a mark for myself. I'm happy with life at the moment. In terms of wrestling, you know, that is what it is at the moment. Not really paying much attention to Raw and Smackdown other than reading results, and I might pop on the odd YouTube video just to see a segment I might have had interest in. I think I only maybe watched a couple of segments from Raw the other night. Mm-hmm. I'm basically just going from pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Right.
My two wrestling loves are NXT and NXT UK. And
you a mark for Wednesday night?
Yes. Especially NXT UK.
Yes.
It was not because it's on right now. Well, we're recording. It's Travis Banks versus Walter.
Yep.
So we'll be watching that probably tomorrow. Yeah. So in terms of like WWE main roster stuff, it's, you know, like I said, I'm keeping in touch with it, but my main attention and main focus is on NXT but specifically NXT UK at the moment. I'm getting everything I want from wrestling when I watch NXT UK. Without getting too deep and meaningful, but I think being away for about 4 or 5 weeks and it being like a whole month or whatever, like I've just decided to come back, and I'm just going to try and be as positive as I can about everything. I feel like together, I think we're not overly positive about stuff. Like, I think we just call things the way we see it, but we always try to find like the silver lining in things. Well, now I'm going to really dial back if I can, like, on not even being negative, but not focusing on the negative things. I just want to focus on the things that like I enjoy when it comes to wrestling. Like, we're not really going to be talking. In fact, we probably won't even address it. Like with Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay stuff, and it's like we'll let other people talk about that. I couldn't care less if two boys are going back on each other on social media and saying absolute nonsense to one another. You know, so I couldn't care less about that. Yeah, like I says, NXT, but specifically NXT UK, is what I'm really enjoying at the moment. And I listened to Keeping It Strong Style the other night, and I messaged Jeremy. I'll reach out to Josh as well at some point to talk about the G1. I'm actually going to do my very best to watch the vast majority of the G1. I'm quite excited to watch that. So like I said, it's not so much that I'm moving away from WWE or anything like that. I'm just listening to Kiss the other night got me really intrigued to it. So I'm going to try and see if I can make it through that. It's because I've called everyone it's a bit of a slog to make your way through it, but we'll give it a go. Yeah. In terms of main roster stuff, like I said, it's not. My fandom isn't where it once was, but I'm more than getting my love and my joy and from NXT and NXT UK.
Yeah, same here. I'm getting more than enough satisfaction from the NXTs, and the last few tapings of ICW have been pretty excellent as well in terms of general booking leading up to their big summer show, the Shrugs House Party 2-nighter at the end of July. Obviously,
which is going to be really strange now.
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, thank you for you guys covering the news about Lionheart last week. That was literally hours or so before you guys pressed record, so to get that in and touch on it a wee bit. I know you have already, but I just want to say it was quite a shocking thing to see. Just I was at a school show, and then it came out to tweets about Lionheart dead, and I thought, you've got to be kidding me, and it was just more stunned than anything at first, and then as you saw the tributes and all the videos that the wrestlers have in their sort of private galleries on their phones of him just talking shite and stuff like that and having a laugh, it was quite sad to see, but it was a time of coming together for a lot of the ICW people, and I know that Preston City Wrestling are doing a tribute night this Friday as well.
Friday.
So
yeah, I think when it comes to the Lionheart thing, I think you kind of like, he was so well known over here, not only in Scotland but up and down the UK. I think you saw tweets from a lot of wrestlers from all over the world. It shows you just like how he was well liked and he was respected. And I think what probably hit us over here the most was that it was a guy that we watched every other week or every week, and we've actually watched him wrestle live a couple of times. So it was strange, and I liken it to the fact that, you know how we have this like obsession and love for like Joe Coffey, and there's an aura about him. I think the aura about Coffey, but and you look at how much we liked Lionheart and how much we were like, hurt by it, was that they're just like us. They were just they were round about the same age as us, just average guys from like general Glasgow, just outside of Glasgow and stuff, and it hit home because, let's say, because of there was a lot of similarities between us and them, because they were just sort of your normal, average, typical guys that just happened to wrestle. Because
it does hit home. I mean, I think obviously there's the ICW connection, but these guys do live miles away from us, and they're more interactive with fans on Twitter, so we've had the odd exchange with likes and retweets and replies and stuff, so you do feel as if you know them a bit more than, say, for instance, if it's someone in America that it happened to. So there is a communal feel to it all right now, and I'm not going to pretend that I know everything about Lionheart's career, but from what I've followed the last couple of years in ICW, and just looking back retrospectively as well, he's quite the guy, and he's had quite the story, and sadly it's come to an end. So
And I think just a final point for me was that I think if you looked at when some of the bigger named American wrestlers came over, like of Swagger and RVD and AJ Styles, like they all wrestled Lionheart.
Yep.
You know, so there was a reason for that.
There was. A lot of people know him. He was getting a lot of love from Regal, Robbie Brookside as well. So it wasn't as if he was an unknown entity. There was a video that went out when Rusev was the US champ back in his Bulgarian traitor days, and they were in Manchester or something. Do you remember that at all?
I never saw the video.
Rusev was addressing the Manchester audience or London audience, and it was Joe Hendry and Lionheart were just basically standing there in suits, and they both just had a big cheesy grin on their faces. So they're known basically. So
like I said, when you get people like guys like Pete Dunne, big names from over here, Pete Dunne, Ospreay, Zack Sabre, Marty Scurll, Coffey, Mark Dallas, obviously owner of IC Dub, but then you're looking at those guys like Matt Hardy saying stuff, like you said, William Regal as well, and there's a few others as well. So Natalia tweeted something out as well. So
yeah, she was in Kickstarter, the GoFundMe for the funeral. Yeah,
so I think like she would even say herself, I've never met the guy, but I can see how much it means to everyone and as a community. So it was tough to take.
It was. So thoughts go out to his friends and family, definitely. Brutal stuff to deal with, but everyone's come together, so there is that. So there's not really a decent way to segue, but I'll just do it anyway. As you said, you've been just going from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. Did you happen to catch Stomping Grounds this Sunday?
Yep.
What were your general thoughts on it?
A couple of matches really stood out. Mm-hmm. Ricochet and Samoa Joe. I enjoyed New Day versus the Canadians.
Right.
I was a fan of the 205 match.
Yes, that was a belter. I see Akira Tozawa's doing this leaping, sprinting cannonball off the stairs. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's delightful. Roman and Drew was okay. I'll have to discuss that with you off air.
I mean, okay, like I'm not being like giving it shitting all over it as if it was like one of the worst matches I've ever seen. I think you need to put it in perspective. When you say okay, it's not exactly praising it, but it wasn't exactly Taker Goldberg. So sometimes people's styles just don't mesh and just don't gel. Because the WrestleMania match wasn't. It was a letdown in comparison to what I thought it could have been.
Yeah. I see. That's the thing. I much preferred it to the WrestleMania match. It was the match that I wanted at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Shane involved, I could have done without, but it did add to it, and it gave it that overcome the odds mentality to it. It's just, I was actually raging that Roman Reigns won. I was furious. I was like, oh fuck, here we go again.
That's the thing though, like, he's not been in any kind of... He's not been in a title feud. Like, I don't get it why people are still going to say things like, oh, here we go again, or Roman win again. You're like, fuck, the guy's not even featuring, like, as heavily as some other people.
I'm just annoyed because I wanted Drew to get the win for that one.
I don't think we rate Drew as highly as we think we do.
Yeah, I don't see that myself. They keep putting him in groups, which I don't get, because I think he can go on his own. He cut one of the best sort of babyface promos I've seen in Full Sail before his match with Bobby Roode. So he's got it in him. I just don't see why he keeps being paired with people who are, for want of a better term, X-Pac heat folk.
Yeah. Bailey and Alexa. I'm not like a huge fan of Alexa. I never have been. And then Seth and Baron Corbin. I don't have an issue with Lacey Evans being a special guest referee.
It was quite clever when you think about it.
Whether you like it or not, but in terms of a storyline, it made sense.
Yep.
You know, and then you got Becky involved. I just, as soon as it happened, you knew it was going to lead to a tag match, and now it has, where both titles are going to be on the line, and it's winner take all.
King of the Ring 2000 all over again.
They're not going to put the title on Baron Corbin.
Imagine both Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans walked out with the belts.
I'd rather not.
There would be a backlash, wouldn't there? Like an all-out.
There really would be like a big-time backlash.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
See, there was a lot of anger with Lacey Evans being involved in the main event, but realistically, okay, let's take aside the fact that Corbin's in the main event in the first place. Fair enough. But what did you expect he was going to do? You think he was going to get some sort of flippy-dude internet indie darling to be the ref that everyone likes? He's going to get someone who benefits him.
Like we said, storyline-wise, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the story they're telling us, it made sense. Whether you liked it or not, whether you felt we should have went down the special ref route is a different matter.
Aye, I think...
but in terms of the story we're telling us, it made perfect sense.
With the mixed tag match, which, if they're not going to sort of rocket strap themselves after Nia Jax's carry on in the Royal Rumble, I don't see the point in it, because they don't... it's not an all-out battle in the matches. You can't really have a proper tag team match when you have to tag in and out because of certain genders that you're wrestling against. The Daniel Bryan and Brie versus Miz and Maurice was, I remember being rather sports entertained by it, I have to admit. But I think I'll see between that and the other tag match that's been announced, the Undertaker, Roman and Shane and Drew, I will be elbow dropping that fast forward button quite heavily for Extreme Rules. I
will most likely fast forward or skip 99% of Roman and Taker's tag match. I want to see the end, purely because I think surely they're not going to go Taker and Roman turn on each other, or Goldberg turns up and whatever, I don't know. I saw it on Twitter, actually someone says Goldberg turns up, tries to spear Taker moves, and he hits Roman, and that's Roman's SummerSlam match right there. Goldberg versus Roman. I'm not advocating for it. Just saying I saw it.
Knowing Goldberg,
so I would
probably spear the wall by mistake.
Yep. So I would watch it the last minute or so just to see what happens. And in terms of the other tag match, I will be watching it because I don't want them to put the title on Corbin or Lacey Evans.
I can't see them not having Seth, at the very least, Seth be the champion heading into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. But they've not exactly... I don't think, anyway, I don't think they've done Seth any favours. I don't think they've helped him whatsoever in this title reign. Because...
At all?
If I don't... Outside the AJ stuff,
mm-hmm.
You compare Kofi to what Seth has been doing ever since WrestleMania.
That's true.
Kofi's... Not even... Because sometimes there's been non-title matches. Kofi's just general run or title reign, all the matches he's had since he's held the title, for the title or non-title, have been unbelievable, and they've paired them up with who? Kevin Owens.
Sammy.
Then they had... Sorry?
Sammy.
Yep. We got now... I know people might not be a fan of Dolph, but Kofi and Dolph...
That's a good story, that one.
You know, that's a good story. And they put on good matches in the past, and they put on good matches outside. I wasn't a fan of the one on Sunday. If they'd done the match they done last night on Sunday, perfect.
I know. See, Dylan James tweeted out, I was having a wee back and forth with him on Twitter. He had said Dolph Ziggler wasn't wrestling as if he was a man with a 14-year score to settle. All that pent-up rage that he must have apparently had since Kofi became the other big dog. Do you know what I mean? It just felt really flat, and the cage, the pace at which wrestling is done these days, I think that sort of the past era of wrestling at a slower pace, it doesn't really suit it anymore. See, a slower pace without a cage, it can be done because of the submission style that you get in a lot of wrestling these days, but the cage, nah, not for me anymore. And we've got another cage match tonight with Shayna Baszler and Io Shirai.
See, I would rather, like, you just get rid of the cage and you just put them in a cell. If you were ever to do that, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the whole cage concept either. But and now then they're going to lead him into Samoa Joe. It's like, so you compare what Seth has been lumped with. Even in the last, and I mentioned in our Social Suplex messenger group, outside of AJ, I think he's been dealt a bad hand. Like, I kind of done a 180 on Brock, but what you get with Brock is what you get, and you're going to get the same general kind of matches. Okay? Mm-hmm. The shit with Ambrose, just like I say, is as soon as, and you said it yourself, as soon as he came out in that gas mask and started talking about the diseases and germs, etc., and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was just totally incongruous with what he was beforehand.
And I get that people were like, well, he almost died because of an infection during his injury, but I get it. Like, the story was so simple to tell, and for me, they messed that up. You could have just simply, you could have gone down one or two routes. I've come back, Dean Ambrose. I've come back, and I'm straight away. I'm helping you, Seth, with your bullshit. Like, I don't even get to come back on my own terms to do what I want. I'm straight away having to lump and help you and getting involved in a feud that's nothing to do with me. Or you could have went down the other route where you could have been like, Roman was the one that kept Ambrose sane, but Roman's gone now because of the cancer. He's away to go get treatment. I don't have my quote-unquote work wife to keep me sane or to keep me mentally like I say, mentally aware of what's going on and keep my senses together, and I've lost all of that. So what do? Then you just suddenly you listen to the voices and the demons and you attack Seth. You could have gone one of the either way, but instead we got a gas mask.
The gas mask was the only excellent thing about Dean Ambrose at that time, and the air raid sirens and his music. But see the Chronicle thing they did.
That was excellent.
That was that was like one of those work shoot things. We didn't really know what was going on, and it was just building and building to this horrible climax, and then it just went in a completely different way. And I thought that's not what Dean Ambrose was talking about.
It was someone who knew what his character was and was in full control of his own character at that point. I'm not talking about creative wise, and I'm not saying we should have just given him full creative control, but that is who he wanted to be, and what you saw in that Chronicle was what he wanted his character to be. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think Seth's had a raw deal. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people who like Corbin. I've always said we'll give credit where credit is due. I'm not a massive fan of Corbin. I think he's got two awesome moves. But you just need to compare who Kofi has gone through. And Kofi's not even running through these people. Like, he's going to war and it's tight and it's close, but Kofi's coming out on top. And then you look what they've got Seth doing.
I don't even think it's up for debate, really. Kofi's had a much more palatable run as a top babyface. And
now he gets Joe to enhance his reputation even more and to give us another great match.
Because Joe's not winning that.
No, Kofi's going to drop that around about August time.
Probably. See, the thing with Seth, I kind of wanted him to keep going with the AJ angle.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that straight out the gate.
We've got a really good
I get it. I understand why they've done it. It made sense, but only if you're going to keep giving them what I feel would be credible opponents.
Well, maybe they had to do a wee bit of mental gymnastics to get the AJ match that they want, have that done, let him rest up for because he's been injured, so they couldn't have done Super Showdown or Stomping Grounds. So Maybe.
Yeah, but what you could have then done was you could have straight out the gate. Maybe you don't give him AJ. You let AJ rest up, and that could be your SummerSlam match. Then what you could have done straight out the gate was you could have gone Samoa Joe, but instead Joe's been doing pretty much nothing, even though he's had the US title. And I know we had a real good match with Joe and Ricochet. I get it. You could have went down a Joe route. You could have brought Daniel Bryan over from Smackdown if you wanted to, as another credible opponent for him. Who else on that Raw roster? Drew was at one point was still there.
Mm-hmm.
There was more than enough credible opponents where you could have. Sammy was there, and then you had the whatever the fuck the rule call it the wild card rule. Well, you could have brought Kevin Owens over at some point if you wanted to feud him. There's more than enough top-notch heels there where you didn't need to do AJ straight out the gate. That's fine. You've done it. I don't mind. Move on. But no, I'm not a fan of Corbin. And I know some people say he generates heat, but you get different types of heat.
It's heat at the end of the day.
I don't buy that, because see, when I see Corbin, I don't want to watch it and I change the channel. I don't watch. That to me that's not very good.
Fair enough.
Now, I may not know, we all claim to know the business and we know blah blah blah, but we don't really know shit. But I'm telling you right now, if I'm watching Man United and they start doing shit that I don't like, or they're playing a certain team that a lineup that I'm not a fan of, it'll make me want to change channel. If I'm sitting watching, there's a Coronation Street, which I don't, but if there's a story, something happening that I don't like, why am I going to watch this? It's the same when it comes to wrestling.
So in an alternate universe, Man United are 2-0 down to Liverpool in the Champions League final, and Baron Corbin comes on as a last minute sub.
Yeah.
For Man U. And Ricky's just passing away on his couch. See, the Seth, I'm disappointed that Seth didn't continue his feud with AJ, but I'm not disappointed that AJ didn't continue his feud with Seth. And what I mean by that is, Ricochet had a really good match with Samoa Joe. His agility helped his offense, and it made Joe look like a monster as well, because he got extra revolutions on a couple of moves which made him spin out. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you still had other heels there. You could have got Seth to face instead of Baron Corbin.
Yep, but now we're getting what looks to be AJ versus Ricochet. And when they had that wee interaction during the photo shoot on Sunday, I did actually get a wee bubble of excitement inside me.
Yeah, really that. And that'll be excellent. But I say it once, I'm going to say it again, like, there's still other heels on that roster that you can go with. Baron Corbin has now lost twice to Seth.
When it was Super Showdown as well.
Did Becky on Sunday, did she beat Lacey Evans clean as a whistle?
Yes, and I'm going to say a gripe.
Going to get a rematch for it.
There's a gripe that I've noticed, and it's more evident in women's wrestling. They tap out far too quickly, and it does my box in.
Mm-hmm.
Give them at least 5 seconds to make it look as if they're hanging on, but no, see these immediate tap outs, it does, and to me it looks weak. Oh, no, don't touch me.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
It's not just Lacey Evans, there's a few of them that have done that. They just tap out too soon, and it just takes away their strength. But that's just an aside. I did enjoy the match apart for that, though. Good energy to start the show, a good curtain jerker, fast paced. Becky was taking no shit, so it was good. And I think a couple of botches, but Lacey held her own apart for that, I would say.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And sorry, but like I said, my gripe is, how on earth has she got another rematch? like, why are we still doing this? And I know at the start of the show I said I'm going to keep positive,
I was
right?
going to say that.
But at the same time, I'm going to call out whatever bullshit I see.
Your bullshit detector has been tweaked.
So, I don't know.
I'm at the point where I'm taking a page out of Carl's book, and I'm quite enjoying seeing the world burn at the moment, so it doesn't bother me that much at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. I'm more miffed about the fact that I wish you would treat Seth Rollins, who is one of your absolute top guys. I wish you would give him better opponents. That's just my thing. And like, I'm not sitting here. We've never really been massive fans of the whole Becky ever since SummerSlam kind of thing.
Yep. I'm
not Lacey Evans' biggest fan either, but I think who she is as a character and how she comes across, and I like the way she handles herself. I like her on the mic as well.
I quite like.
But I said, for me, my main gripe is I just think, like, when you compare Seth and Kofi since WrestleMania, and it's like, look how well you're doing with Kofi, and what are we doing here with Seth?
Nonsense.
Baron Corbin just doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, it doesn't do much for me either.
But yeah, anyway, moving forward.
Do you know what match I really loved? And it was a match I didn't really expect to love, was the Smackdown Tag Team title match.
Yeah.
Heavy Machinery looked like superstars with a small S that night. It's one of those ones, complete opposites of Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, where they're scoffing meat as if there's no tomorrow. Their gimmick is that they're machinery workers, probably building buildings and chopping down trees, so I can understand.
And smoking cigarettes, and like you say, eating meat, raw meat.
Aye, like raw meat. Like that person we know.
Yep, eating live chickens. Thing is, like, is there anybody left now on SmackDown, the tag team division?
Aye, New Day. It would appear that it's New Day that's next, but it doesn't really matter, because the wildcard rule was just an excuse to slowly get rid of the brand draft split thing.
Yeah.
I would
like them now to slowly start transitioning away from Daniel Bryan being in a tag team and getting back as a singles guy as well, though. I've
quite enjoyed what he's been doing, though.
So without a doubt, and I know it's only been a couple of months, maybe not even, but he just remember how great he was in the build up to WrestleMania as a singles guy.
Yes.
Like, I would love to see him over on Raw with Seth. Maybe later on in SmackDown, whoever might ultimately dethrone Kofi. I would like to see him now. When they do drop the titles, I hope that's it. They kind of transition him back to the singles guy and not continue as a tag team guy.
Well, if rumour is to be believed, and he did have some sort of head injury after WrestleMania, then wrestling 50% of the time is probably better for him in the long run.
Who knows what the injury was? I don't know if it was head, neck, it's all kind of tied in together, but I don't think anything ever came out. I don't think they ever disclosed that, what it was.
I think it's just worked for me because Heavy Machinery seemed like a big deal, and see, when it comes to important matches, I don't know if you remember ever seeing Otis versus Tommaso Ciampa on NXT one week.
Mm-hmm.
That was an excellent match. Otis can go, there was a bit, see, Rowan, he's got that massive crossbody splash that he does, and because he's 6'8", it's just devastating. Mm-hmm. Well, Rowan did the crossbody, and usually when you catch someone mid crossbody, you sort of falter back and lose your footing. Otis Dozovich did not move a single centimetre.
Oh, I think the kind of comedy kind of routine, etc., might take away from people's attention the fact that they're actually a pretty damn good tag team.
And what I can imagine is that once they're popular, they'll probably will win the tag belts within the next 6 months or so. they'll break up, and you know how Otis is the one that's got most of the character and charisma out of the two.
Yep.
It'll be Tucker Knight that gets the heel push.
It'll be like Enzo cast all over again.
I know. Oh God, man. Talk about awful Enzo cast, man. That was dreadful stuff.
I think, like, overall Stomping Grounds, I think it was a mixed bag.
Okay.
I think, in fairness, it's not been all the pay-per-views. I think have kind of all been similar this year or for a while now. There's nothing that's happened in them that has made me overly angry or been like, that is just terrible. It's just, I think overall, as a pay-per-view, what they've been producing, it's been like, well, do you know what? Like, yeah, it may not have been like the greatest ever pay-per-view, but it was still pretty solid. And I think that's what it says. I know I ranted about Baron Corbin, and that was one thing I didn't like, but you know, for the most part, it gave you enough. I felt it continued storylines. Some storylines came to an end, some new ones started. So I think there should have been enough there for everybody to be like, do you know what? I was satisfied with this, and that.
Yeah, I was thoroughly enjoyed myself through the vast majority of Stomping Grounds. The cage match we've touched on, that just fell flat for me.
Yeah, like you say, if that was this, if a Smackdown match was the Stomping Ground match, you know, that would have been a lot better.
I was surprised that I was invested in the Alexa Bayley match. Alexa did that Sunset Bomb that's been getting more popular, and it's a lot of people are doing it now, but she did that on the floor, and I thought, oh, that was nice. That was a wee bit of extra grit, and it was different, as you say. So I quite enjoyed it from that aspect. Bayley came out fighting Nikki Cross. I'm more than happy to see her get some TV time, even though she's playing this bizarre, confused girl, which is a bit strange. I don't know what's going on there at all.
How does she?
She married Big Killian Dane at the weekend there.
Yep.
R-Truth was not invited.
Because he was too busy at Thingy's wedding, Mavericks.
Did you see Maverick's wife tweeted out that she wants a divorce?
He's a broken man.
You know, I've got to hand it to Maverick, because a couple of days after WrestleMania, he did one of those. He typed up a massive screed in his notepad on his phone and put a picture of it up on Twitter saying, I wasn't on WrestleMania this year. Through nobody's fault or whatever, I wasn't happy that was the case, and I'm going to work hard every day to make sure that I'm on WrestleMania next year. And he started writing day 1, day 2, tweets every other day saying that. And then this 24/7 thing's come along. I will admit, see all the flyers and stuff for the tweets and the posters. Right, you're going a bit too far here, but
not at all.
Essentially, he's got himself over. So
essentially, he got himself into that storyline, and it's brilliant.
So very well played to him. Got a lot of respect for that. I do, however, think he better get his act together with the 205 general manager job. And Mike Kanellis kayfabe quit last night. Because he's fed up with Maverick. So I wonder if we might actually see a different general manager in the near future for 205 Live.
Not sure what the plan is.
Good on Maverick. So far you're doing enough to at least be featured maybe in some sort of battle royal, or how you had the old 24/7 hardcore title rules.
Yep.
So keep it up. You're doing well. The wedding video was fantastic. So funny. It's one of those ones I had to show the family.
The best part was he turned around to his wife and was like, I'm sorry, and then ran after Truth. But no, it's entertaining stuff, and that's all that title is really meant to be. It's just to provide a bit of comedy, a bit of entertainment, and it's doing it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to hearing your on-air thoughts about this title, considering your favourite ever belt is the hardcore belt. So overall,
it's been fun.
It
really has. For me, there was what I felt there was going to be two landmark moments was the day Drake Maverick won the title. I felt that should have been like a big time moment.
A bigger deal than it was.
Perhaps, but I think that's more so because of what we've witnessed on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And I've had it in my head ever since Truth won it for the first time. Carmella's going to pin him for the title at some point.
Definitely. She dyed her hair blonde for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling that moment's coming, and it's going to be upsetting. But yeah, like I said, even the hardcore title, which I say it's the greatest title ever, blah blah blah. Even that had half of the stuff that took place there was like comedy things. I said I do like it. It is bringing people entertainment. Truth has been unbelievable entertaining with it.
He's been it's the best person to be the anchor for it,
without a doubt. And like he says, we all feel that the rosters are bloated, but at least this way they're actually getting used to some of the guys. Whether we think certain guys or female deserve better, but they're getting something out of it. Like Cedric Alexander, I'm assuming the last thing he thought would happen to him after leaving 205 would be he'd been involved in the 24/7 and barely been featured. He's
officially the youngest ever winner of the belt at 29.
So it's.
I mean,
it's got its great moments, and I think there's maybe just one or two moments where, like, if you really nitpick, people might want to see negatives, but I really don't. For the most part, I think it's great.
Aye, and it's perfect in this day and age with the growth of social media.
Yep.
And you've got Titus O'Neill, Robert Roode, R-Truth, Elias, Big Jinder on the golf course. Drake Maverick
and Jinder,
Heath Slater
got onto the plane.
Aye, EC3 as well. So that's a good few names that normally don't get a lot of TV time, and they've had a wee moment in the sun, and their YouTube views have skyrocketed. Some of the more viewed stuff that they have on YouTube. So fair play to them. It's definitely probably. That sounds like an Oasis tribute act. It has been the most entertaining aspect of WWE at the moment, main roster.
I hate Oasis.
Aye, they're not my favourite. But I'm sure nobody cares.
I know. Nobody cares about them.
I'm trying to think, what was the other match? We touched on the 205. It's an absolute joy to say that Drew Gulak is now my 205 Live champion.
It's been a long time coming.
A very long time. And he's been back and forth on NXT as well. I thought, is he going over to NXT? Because he had a couple of matches with Kushida, an excellent match with Matt Riddle as well. They're going to be it's him versus Matt Riddle on this 10th anniversary Evolve show that's going to be on the network. I know from looking at wrestlers' tweets online and stuff that he does a lot of training work at the Performance Centre. But now he's changed his character. He's turned into a bit of a nut job, and he's the champ. So
yep,
it could be leading to dream scenario: Chad Gable versus Drew Gulak somewhere down the line. And that would be delightful.
Yeah, Chad Gable is delightful.
He's looking a lot more delightful as well.
Cutting that weight, that's why.
And the hair as well, cutting the weight in the hair. See, I wonder if he's always had that belter six-pack hiding underneath the singlet.
Oh, probably. You could tell he's always been like lean and ripped.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think, what were the other? Have we covered all the matches?
Yes.
New Day Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match was not bad at all.
That was enjoyable, very enjoyable. Good to see Big E in the wrestling ring again.
Mm-hmm. The spear to the outside was excellent.
Owens and Sami are just awesome together.
I enjoyed.
I don't know if you saw the backstage interview.
I haven't actually. No,
I can't remember who it was. A Sarah that was with, and Kevin Owens kept calling her Renee, and it was quite funny. But it is good to see E back. I'm ready for that superstar singles push for Sami though. been ready for a long time.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
I don't think there's any maybe about it. Like as I said in the messenger group, you can make a very strong argument that Sammy is the best in the company.
Wrestling wise, work rate wise, yes.
But even his heel character, he's just sensational. But as I said, as a face, like he's like Mustafa Ali. He's like, what is there not to love about Sami Zayn the person?
I really liked their tactics at the start of that match, where it was. I've become quite the hater of super kicks. It's one of the most overused moves I've ever seen, but it had its purpose at the start of this match, so I quite enjoyed that.
I'm just not a fan of finishing moves being used over and over and over again.
I know, it's not even a finishing move anymore, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's just a standard move, so I'm just not a fan of that. And you know, I'm not a fan of, and I know we're kind of going off topic, but I'm not a fan of people kicking out of finishers either.
Well, please continue to watch Johnny Gargano Adam Cole matches then, because that's all they two bloody do.
Well, I did say that in the post WrestleMania one that I done on my own. I says as great it was borderline ridiculous because the amount of times Johnny Gargano kicked out of big time finishers.
Yeah, that was.
And I know that's Gargano's NXT career in a nutshell, but that was for me just a little too far.
I think I actively disliked that match. It was just.
I think it portrayed Adam Cole in a really bad light.
Yep, I liked the other match they had though.
Oh, I think both matches were great.
But the first one was just. This is just. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're going way off topic. However, from the NXT 25, I'm going to say Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong is a strong contender for my match of the year.
That blew me. That's what you want in an opening match.
That was an explosion. That's what that match was. Unbelievable. One last thing. He's probably talking shit because he talks shit and makes a fool of himself on Twitter now and again. But Aleister Black, someone knocked on his door on SmackDown last night. Well, just before we went live tonight, Buddy Murphy said knock knock, and I wish I wrote back who's there, because that would have been hilarious. But I didn't. It probably won't be him, but you never know. So,
well, I mean, like I said, a couple of weeks back, him and Orton, Aleister Black, him and Randy Orton were doing a couple of live events together, and I could get behind that as well. I think that'd be interesting. I motivated Randy Orton. I don't think that exists anymore, as I said in the other group, but as wrestling royalty is almost untouchable, I believe.
I think he has been motivated for the last wee while though, because he comes in and fits and starts, and he just comes in with an impact, and I don't know, it just seems to be working right now.
Yep.
So it's going to be a shorter episode this week. I have enjoyed catching up with Ricky on all things WWE, but we do have double duty tonight due to holiday commitments. We're recording next week's episode, and it will be the last match of the first round of the Quiz Time Invitational. We've got that to do very soon, but that's not to say that you won't get a quiz just now.
Excellent.
It's fucking quiz time with Ricky and Clive and friends. A fucking WWE quiz.
So, Ricochet.
Did you pop when AJ called Ricochet Ricky?
No, when Otis.
But AJ called him as well.
Did he? Otis grabbed him and was like, Ricky!
AJ says it in that backstage segment after the match.
I didn't spot that. I genuinely was like a wee boy in a sweetie shop And I thought, oh my god, they two are going to have a work rate match. The match they had on Raw was alright, but hopefully it turns into something better. No stipulations so far for Extreme Rules.
I'm sure that will happen eventually.
A cheeky ladder match between the two, perhaps. Oh, we were supposed to be doing a quiz just now, weren't we?
Well, I could imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if that mixed tag match has some sort of like stipulation to it.
Aye.
Apart from obviously winner takes all, but
right, the Google Docs page has frozen. Hold on a minute. Right, so there isn't a theme this week. I've obviously been compiling lots of quiz questions, so I ran out of ideas. This is just a general knowledge quiz. See, while this is taking its time to load, allow me to tell you, if you go over to powerslam.tv and put in the promo code Social Suplex, you will get over 4,000 hours of independent wrestling from around the world, free for a whole month, and then after that you pay a small fee of around $5, I believe. I noticed that Progress is on it, and that is quite interesting to me, so I'm considering it. I can't fit in any more wrestling, but to know that Progress is there for free for a month is quite enticing. Also go to prowrestlingtees.net for the Social Suplex page. You've got t-shirts from ourselves, you've got t-shirts from One Nation Radio and Keeping It Strong Style, and the Social Suplex logo itself. We are part of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. We are the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, alongside such hits as One Nation Radio, Keeping It Strong Style, Grown Men Watch This Shit, Get in the Ring, All Things Elite, and NXT Then Now Forever. So give us a 5-star review on the podcast app of your choice. We are at Ricky and Clive on Twitter, and we are also in the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group. I did it.
Well done. I botched it last week.
It's alright. I'm in no place to criticise at all.
I blame Rance.
Hashtag blame Rance.
Yep.
Number one.
I'm not sure why I'm blaming Rance, but I'm blaming Rance.
Oh, he'll be delighted to hear that.
No, of course he loves me.
You ready?
Yes.
Number one. Not including the WWE CW title. How many world titles has Kane won? Whether it's just any main event level championship strap.
2.
Correct answer. Number 2. I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah.
Eugene's only WWE title was the tag team titles. Who was his partner?
Oh. I feel like I should say The Rock, but only because they had quite a bit going on, but I don't know if it was The Rock. I don't know.
I have a random guess.
Oh, it's not. I don't think it'll be The Rock then. Hornswoggle? I don't know.
Incorrect.
A terrible guess, but I don't know.
The answer was William Regal.
Oh, was it?
I
don't remember that.
On a Manchester Raw. It got the pop of a lifetime, so it did. Number 3, what was William Regal's name in WCW?
Could you say that again, sorry?
What was Willie Regal's name in WCW?
I'm not sure. So I know he's had like Sir and Lord and all that, but I don't know if this was all like his WWE stuff.
I'll give you a clue. His last name was still Regal.
Alright, we'll go with Lord William Regal. Oh no, Lord Stephen Regal.
Yes, I don't know if it was Lord Steven Regal, but Steven Regal is the correct answer. Number 4, Which city held the last ever Nitro episode?
Florida. Oh, it was in Florida.
I'll give you half a point.
That was Panama.
It was Panama City. Number 5. Which of these wrestlers was not a member of the New World Order? Buff Bagwell, Ted DiBiase, or Billy Kidman?
Buff was.
Buff the Stuff Bagwell.
DiBiase.
Final answer?
Yeah.
The answer was Billiam Kidman.
Damn it! I thought I've just got a picture of Kidman in an NWO T-shirt for some reason.
DiBiase was there very early on, and throughout all the various iterations of NWO, Wolfpack, OG, 2000, whatever, Billy Kidman was not involved. Number 6. Which wrestler's real name is Oscar Gutierrez?
How am I going to know that?
It's not a case of you'll kick yourself, but you might be a wee bit embarrassed.
Dominic's father.
Correct answer. Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yep.
Number 7. Charlotte Flair won the Divas Championship for the first time at which pay-per-view in 2015?
She won it and then they basically retired it straight away.
Well, not straight away.
Well, she was the last person to hold it.
Big difference.
Oh. I don't know. SummerSlam?
Incorrect. The answer was Night O Champions.
Right.
Number 8. Who made her return to WWE as a masked wrestler only to be revealed for who she was, that being Alexa Bliss's accomplice?
Mickey?
Correct. The Mickey and Clive wrestling show. I don't know why that's as funny as it is to me, but there we go. Number 9. What was the shortest match at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool?
What the fuck? Right, let's run through these again. So you had a tag match, then you had Dave Mastiff, then you had the Iron King himself, then you had Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley, then you had Finn and Jordan Devlin. That was a 5, wasn't it?
Yep,
Right, so it wasn't the coffee match. Finn and Devlin. It's either them or a Mastiff match. I'll go with Finn and Devlin.
Finn and Devlin was the second shortest by a minute or so. It was indeed.
Dave Mastiff.
Dave Mastiff with hay in his waist.
Yep. Damn it.
Number 10. I promise this was the hardest ever question that's ever been, or any of us we've ever done. Are you ready?
Yep.
Name all 3 members of the Forgotten Sons.
Fuck.
Stumped. That's a bad sign when they're called the Forgotten Sons and you can't remember their names. Not you specifically. I know there'll be a few listeners saying, shit, what are they?
Jeez.
Right, do you know one of them?
Wesley Blake.
Right, that's 1/3.
Something Cutler.
I'll give you, it's just Cutler. Go on, you can do it. Everyone listening has faith in you right now.
His name is awfully similar, or some name, to your favourite wrestler.
Oh my word. Right.
Who's your favourite wrestler?
Zack Ryder's jaw.
Yep. Is it not? Is it Jackson Riker?
Well done. Feel free to keep your eyes on screen, Ricky, instead of looking at your phone.
My phone's on the floor.
Well, pick it up then, because you might stand on it.
No, well, I don't have my contacts in. I can't see anything. And I'm not wearing glasses. My eyesight is that bad.
Why did you hold your beard when you said you're not wearing any glasses?
Because my beard was itchy at that point.
You got 1,
6,
2,
I think.
3, 4, 5, 6 correct. Not bad. As the old song goes, 6 out of 10 ain't bad. Anything you would like to say to our avid listeners?
It's nice to be back. Even though I was back last week, but it's the twosome.
Yep.
No, just, don't act like little childs on Twitter, people.
Yes, that was embarrassing for all parties involved, but fair play to him for standing up for himself. He's allowed to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, people, like, you want to say what you want to say. Like, see, at the end of the day, like, see that whole best pro wrestling in the world tweet. Was he wrong?
Subjective.
In my opinion, yes, but as you said, it's subjective.
Who cares?
It's not exactly. Who gives a fuck? It's Twitter. It's fucking social media, for crying out loud. I feel like you should have more important things to worry about than trying to be good at Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got some. Ricochet just did an interview.
Side note, I'm fucking awesome at Twitter though.
Right, okay, that's fine. Shit. Ricochet was asked in an interview. He had one of his own shoot promo podcasts, and he said, "What do you owe to the success of your recent main roster push and US title run?" And he said, "Well, it's just a lot of dedication. I just wasn't finding my feet, but I started adding a lot of lentils to my diet and stuff, and it was a case of once I got my finger on the pulses, it was."
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's when the magic happened.
For fuck's sake! Oh goodness!
A genuine pop from Ricky there, right, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I thought it was going to lead that way, and I was like, he's not going to say it, and then you did.
Yep.
Each to their own. People are into whatever they're into.
Of course.
I'm sure people are into more freakier stuff.
Oh, aye. Right. Enjoy the episode, I hope you have, and we'll kind of speak to you next week with the quiz. And we'll speak to you soon. Good night.
Yep, take care, folks.
Remember to eat your lentils. Good night.
And also, if you want, you can hit us up with the freaky shit you like.
If anyone's interested, I've actually not looked at it for over a week, but for some reason I set up a Discord. If anyone would like to be involved in the Ricky and Clive exclusive Discord, hit us up in the DMs. Slide into my DMs, as the young cats say.
Old. So happy but old.
I know. Right.
Anyway,
let's
take
go.
care, folks.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you next time.